stay for it. You ripped on that bitch, boy. Come on, dog.
Hey, see y'all.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy HBKA Money, and I'm back with another, another banger. Before we start the video, before we get into anything, I need you guys to click the link in the description and cop the merch, man. Cop the merch, man. Okay. Alright, so welcome to my first story time ever. I got a lot, you know, my life is pretty f***ed up. I was a f***ed up youth growing up. Not to say that I was a bad one, but I was just doing a lot of dumb shit. This happens to be one of the things, you know. Not even to make jokes of it, obviously, because it's pretty crazy, but I just look back and I'm like, yo, like, I was a goof. I should have just took my time and, you know, whatever. Before we get into anything else, I need you guys to do me a big favor and clap up that like button for my first ever story time. If you like this story time, go back in the comment section and tell me that you like it and you want to see more. Most importantly, I need you guys, like, I check the analytics, don't get it twisted, you know. I see the numbers and it's not adding up, you know. Most of you guys aren't subscribed. Go down to that red button, click it, click the bell, and like, it's that simple. Alright, so this is a pretty crazy story time, I'm not gonna lie, because I actually almost did die. Like, I'm not trying to lie with the title. I was finishing up my first year of college, and I remember getting it around March or April. I've been saving up for, I want to say, maybe like 6 months, and back then I was working at the deli, so like,
I met Lil Mama in the deli. Hey, she was a weddie. Hey,
I was making like 300 to 400 every paycheck, you know. So I was just saving, you know, every dollar I could, you know. I really wanted to buy a car, you know. I was just caught up in the life that everybody was living, you know. I see all my Arab friends, they're 13, they have their G2 and a BMW, you know. Like, I just wanted to be a part of that life, you know. So I saved up about 1,200, and then I was looking on Kijiji, you know, and I was gonna settle for a Honda Civic, you know. And to be honest, like, that's a solid car. Whether it's a first car, third car, 10th car, 11th car, a Honda will never fail you. Those cars could last forever. I don't know why I didn't go with that. It probably would have went different, but come on now, boy. We don't pull up in the Honda Civic, boy. We pulling up in State Forest. I saved up $1,200, and I was looking, and I landed on this Audi 2002 A4. And I was like, yo, like, this is like way out of my, you know, like, I'm not trying to spend this bread, and then I know maintenance is gonna be an ass, but like, the price is nice, you know. Like, it was like for $1,350. He said he needed, you know, like some back brakes or whatever. So I messaged the guy and I'm like, yo, like, would you go down like maybe like 150? I was ready, you know. I was rushing everything. I didn't think about insurance. I didn't think about, you know, how much the parts were, maintenance, not even mechanic, none of that, you know. And keep in mind, like, I'm just trying to prove my parents wrong and just show them that I could get a car and just, you know, live this grown life that I've been trying to live. But like, you know, it don't work like that sometimes. The guy messages me and he's like, yeah, bro, like, nobody's been messaging me. I'll drive by your house so you can test it. I drove the car, loud as fuck, fam. Like, when I tell you loud, like, you could be, bro. Niggas from Hong Kong could hear you, my nigga. Like, this was loud. Like, yo, I remember coming into my neighborhood and I would have to drive like 10 miles per hour. Like, I had to like cruise through my neighborhood because I was getting complaints. Anyways, boom, boom, boom. I look at it, everything's good, you know, whatever for the most part. Like I said, I don't know what the I'm doing, keep in mind. He said he just has to get some papers together, so he said he was gonna come maybe next week and check me, and so, you know, he could hand me over the keys. So then he flopped a couple times and I'm thinking, you know, like, what's going on? Fam, you're supposed to come Wednesday, it's Friday now, you know, you're supposed to come Friday, it's Sunday now. Anyway, so it was a bunch of that, so I was kind of skeptical about even purchasing the car, and I'll keep in mind I was still looking at other cars. But anyways, he actually came through, came with papers, everything. So I was like, you know what, like, this is meant to be. I'm gonna get this whip. I have a foreign, you know, I feel sick, you know, like, take it, like, the car has a sunroof, man, like, it sounds loud, it has it didn't even have the regular system, you know. I had like Bluetooth on it, everything, so I just feel sick, you know. Those times I only had my G1, no insurance, no nothing, you know. So I'm a convict. But yeah, so I have this whip. I don't have my G2, nothing. No insurance, no license, no nothing. So for the first day, I'm not gonna lie, I went joyriding, you know, and there was a time there was a cop behind me and I was like, yeah, I'm going to jail. It's over, you know, car's gone first day, you know. I'm playing around now. I got insurance, got the licensing. All of that cost way too much, you know. I wasn't even ready for that. I went to the mechanic maybe 3 days in a row and he's just busy every time. But there's one day he's like, yo, go check my boy. My next boy down the street, you know, he'll hook you up, he'll fix your car for you, whatever, he'll check it out. So then I go, and it was like 150 to check it out, which is like normal, like it's gonna be a lot, you know, but anyways, whatever. Paid it. Like I said, this is money I'm not expecting to like out of my pocket, you know, but whatever. I'm getting everything done. This guy told me the car needs $2,000 of work. Bruh. My nigga, how is the maintenance more than what I paid for the whip? $2,000. And I was actually thinking to myself, fam, where the fuck am I getting this money from? Like, I actually don't know, like, where's this money coming from? Because I didn't even have money for this other shit. And now this nigga wants me to pay $2,000 to get it fixed and get it safety? Oh my god. I swallowed the L, you know? I'm not gonna lie, like I was about to just say f it and just fix it right away, you know? I was gonna use my credit card, but I was like, you know what? Like, I'm sure if I go to the right people, I can probably get some parts or whatever, and then it's just less for maintenance, you know? Because if you bring them parts, they're gonna charge you less, you know, because you have the parts there, all of that, you know, whatever. So I just remember those times too, like my dad was beefing me. No, not even my dad, sorry. My whole family was beefing me. They don't want me to have this whip. You know, they're saying, oh, it's a bad choice, it's a bad choice. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was doing everything the right way and I wasn't, so it's fine, like, you know, they could hold that. So I went back to like the licensing and registration place, whatever, and I had to get a temporary plate. You're good to use that until you actually fix your car and get it properly safetied. So I ended up talking to my cousin that owns a body shop and he told me he can give me the parts for 30 off. Like, I think I needed, to be honest, I don't even remember, my nigga. That was like 4 years ago. He ordered them on my credit card, boom, boom, boom. You know, I'm just getting one step, you know, done. Like, even though it set me back, you know, minor setback for a bigger, fuck is it? Minor setback for a bigger outcome. So like day by day, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I'm getting somewhere finally, you know, like I'm like, okay, blessed, like, you know, I'm about to pay my first insurance note, about to fix the car finally. My grandma first was like, I don't even want you to have a car or whatever, to like just be safe. So those times, like, I'm just being like an idiot, you know, like I'm leaving my house at 8 o'clock, coming home at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I don't even know what I was, like, I wasn't even doing anything productive, you know, with the whip. Like, I could have been, you know, I have all this time on my hands, I could have been doing lots of shit, but whatever. Typical 17-year-old moves. Like, I was just trying to flex the whip, you know. So getting into the crash, it actually kind of hurt me, like, mentally. I won't lie, because, you know, I really wanted to prove something, but I just felt like when I crashed the car, I lost everything, you know. And to me, that it just scarred me for life. There's a shisha spot by my crib and I went with my boy or whatever. You know what's crazy? He actually was supposed to pick me up, but I was like, nah, like, you know, I'm gonna bring my whip. I'm just burning gas, you see? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, a nigga offered me a drive and I just want to show off and burn my gas. Anyways, so whatever, we're posted up there, see all my niggas saying what's up, whatever. That shisha spot closes late. I want to say around like 2 or 3, whatever. Real ones know the shisha spot before they got evicted. Don't get it twisted. Bah, bah, bah. So I get a text from my friend like right when I'm about to leave, and she's saying how she's right by my house and she needs a drive to her house. So I go scoop her, bring her back to her house. So I'm on my way home and there's this high school by her house. I actually did feel tired around there, so I parked and I stopped the car and I took a nap. I was making my way home and there's like this little road behind the airport in my area. It's very long and like maybe kind of bumpy, and it's not a good place to be driving on at those times of night. I was driving on it and I felt like really tired. Like, everything was dark, like my lights weren't bright enough. Like, I just felt really tired. Before I continue, the best thing to do when you're feeling sleepy is open a window or play your music louder, or just really, you know, consciously, like, you know, like, yo, I'm driving, or I'm, you know, I'm not in the state to really be tired. But I didn't do any of those things, you know. I'm just thinking like, I'm tired, but I'll be home in like 10 minutes. That's what the GPS was saying. I just remember closing my eyes, but I don't remember sleeping. I remember closing my eyes, but I don't remember sleeping. When I woke, like, when I opened my eyes, I was on the other side of the road, and I was about to fall off, like, into a ditch. Like, cause the road is pretty high. Like, I want to say like the ditch is down here, and then whatever. Like, you're not gonna get the exact feel for it, but I want to say something like that. And it's like my body was like paralyzed. Like, I had enough time to definitely brake and just miss going off the road, or brake, turn a little bit. Like, I could have maneuvered better, you know. But it's like God was like, just let it happen. Like, I don't know what it was, fam. Like, I literally just, I couldn't do anything. Like, my hands were just, I think it was like a state of shock too. That would make more sense, but I don't know what it was. And I just remember just going off the road, and the car did a flip. Bow, bow, bow. Like, like, it was actually crazy. Like, I said, oh, and then bow, bow, bow. And I just sat there for a second, and I was like,
viewer discretion is advised.
And I was just sitting there, and then I just hear a loud, like somebody like skirted, but it was just that they were braking. They came back, they're like, oh my god, like, are you alright? Da 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 da. They called the cops. If you ever do unfortunately end up in that situation, just tell them that you saw an animal, you're trying to swerve out the way, you know, a little cheat code, you'll get in less trouble. Anyways, back to the story. You know, I'm fine. I walk out, nothing's wrong with me. Keep in mind, I didn't look at my whip. I didn't want to see my whip. I didn't want to think about anything. I tell my dad, I tell my boy that I was just with at the shisha spot. I'm in the ambulance, they're asking me questions. Whatever, obviously, like, you know, they're gonna do that. Same thing with the police officers, whatever. They look at the whip, they look at me, they look back at the whip, they look at me, they look back at the whip. But no, they actually looked at the whip, and then they looked at me. And they're like, you don't know how lucky you are to walk out with. I had like a shard of glass in my hand. It was deep in my hand. That was it. They pulled it out. Boom. Light work. It should have went another way, but you know, thank God. Those times too, I was going through depression, anxiety, and just all these things, and I was trying to figure out who I am, you know, because keep in mind, I'm still young, right? So I have a lot of things, a lot of other shit to worry about realistically. But I had to deal with crashing my first car at age 17. You know, and that's the reality of it. But I'm just bent because, my nigga, I had Kobe 8s in there. Like, take that in, bro. I had a basketball I took from my high school. It's just like, you know, I had bare shit in there. Like, all I have is memories left. I had to tell my manager the next day that I wasn't coming into work, obviously. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't even think about buying a car. You know, you know, I proved everybody right. Like, I wasn't ready. And, you know, that's a lesson I have to, lesson learned. It just taught me a lot. It showed me that you shouldn't rush in life, whatever you're doing, whether it's a car, learning how to do something, whatever it is. Just don't rush anything in life. Take your time. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you know all the consequences of if something happens, or if you don't do it right, or, you know, just be ready for what you're not ready for, you know, just shit like that. And that's something I had to learn along the way. But, you know, thank God I'm here. Thank God I'm walking. Thank God I'm talking. You know, all these things, you know, that weren't even supposed to be a thing, you know, I'm doing it, you know, and I'm getting there day by day. And that's just the way to live. You just take your time. You know, there's no rush. You know, everybody's trying to rush and be something they're not, and be doing all these things. Stay you, you know, work on yourself. And just worry about your family, or whatever you need to worry about, you know. Just do those types of things, and you'll get to where you need to be. Everybody has a different journey, and everybody has a different path. Keep that in mind, you know. You might see somebody driving the newest Bentley or the newest BMW and you're thinking, yo, I want to be that person, but that might not be your life, you know? You'll end up where you need to be. God always has a plan for you. But yeah, no, I just wanted to share that with you guys because that was like a big part of my life. And like the stages, well, I mean, and like kind of what set the tone for how I act and move today, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a crazy first story time. I got more in the way. I wanted to do how I broke my tooth. That's a crazy motherfucking story. I'm gonna tell you guys next time. But until then, it's your boy HBKA Money. Hope you liked the video. Like the video. Comment if you want to see more story times. Subscribe to the HBK gang. Click the bell so you never miss a video. Until then, I'm out of here.
Hey, CR.